Hello, everyone. I saw the movie Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw the other day. I'm giving this movie a 7.825 out of 10. I felt this movie could have got a higher rating if the action was more over the top and if the writing was better. Um, yeah, the action was over the top, but I thought it should be more because that's a norm for the Fast and Furious movies franchise. I know this is a spinoff, but it's pretty much the same or similar to Fast and the Furious. I mean, a little bit, it says it's Hobbs and Shaw, but it felt like a Fast and Furious movie. Um, Getting back to the action of the movie, the fighting choreography wasn't as fluent as Fast and the Furious 7 and 8. Um, the choreography was pretty much on point at the beginning, and whenever the protagonist Hobbs and Shaw will fight the antagonist, played by Idris Elba, that's when it was pretty good. It was off the chain. So the beginning and when they were fighting the antagonist. Um, I compared this movie to Fast and Furious 7 and 8 because um, Hobbs and Shaw, those are the Fast and Furious where they interact with each other. And as you know, Hobbs is The Rock and Shaw is Jason Statham. Um, I know this movie wasn't better than Fast and Furious 7. 8 is debatable because I know 8 was real good at the beginning, as far as the action and entertainment, and then it kind of slowed down towards the end. Um, I noticed that the action of Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, it was like spread it out through the movie, which I found as an interesting approach. Um, Regarding the writing, I can't be too petty on this because I knew what I was getting into. However, I still thought it could have been done better. It was a lot of slapstick comedy of the movie. Sometimes the comedy would hit and miss. Um, it was probably those comedies was probably best when The Rock and Jason Statham would interact with each other. Sometimes it missed with them, but I mean sometimes it was real good with them as well. For some reason I felt the some of the comedy felt like the movie Deadpool or the movie Blade Trinity. It had a lot of stingers and you know comedy uh, jokes, kind of excessive a little bit. As far as acting, it was okay. Um, the Rock and Jason Statham's charisma sort of carried this movie. The antagonist, Idris Elba, he was real cool. Actually, he did very good in this movie. I'm gonna give him a thumbs up. Uh, Overall, I had fun watching this movie. It was very funny telling people about this movie and about some of the other Fast and the Furious movies because in a way, they sound like GI Joe, comic bookish, and like rogue agents. And some of the people I spoke to only seen maybe the first installment of Fast and Furious, which dealt with the car racing and heist. So they'll give me like a strange look, like what? and then others would say, "Are we talking about the same movie?" And that happened more than once, so that's pretty funny. Uh, in opinion, I thought this movie was an underachiever. Some of the dialogue was winged, especially the dialogue that dealt with emotion. Had one scene where it dragged. The action was good, but it wasn't great. Humor was not always on point, but it had its moments. And the plot wasn't completely original, but some of the parts of the plot was very interesting to look at because it had its own spin on relevant conspiracy theories. All right, everyone, that's my review. If you have any comments, just leave them in the comment section below. Thanks, and God bless.